On today's episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast, we have a very special guest for you. He is a fitness guru known around Kokomo to be a guy that can really help you get to where you need to go for your resolutions or your fitness nutrition goals. His name is JT, Joel Tinder. Check him out. Check out this episode. We get him to talk about a lot of different things, including this gigantic Guinness World Book of Record pizza. We get to talk about, just obesity in general and just taking one step at a time with your goals and learning that, not every mountain needs to be, conquered in a day. So check out this episode of Kokomo Press Podcast.
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
What's up? It's the Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm Jordan Grainger, and as always, I'm joined by one of the best co-hosts in the world.
My name's Jordan Bell today.
Yeah, he's Jordan Bell. He's himself.
Yeah.
He's just too low energy today. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna bring it up. We're gonna bring it up. I like the glasses, hat combo. You've got the Malcolm X look. That's what you said before, and I like it.
Always.
Young Buck shirt. I like he always comes in here looking so stylish,
I love it. Something like that, man. I just threw some shit on. I ain't gonna lie.
And we got a special guest today. He is from my words, a fitness guru. He's like, don't call me a guru. Nope, you're the fitness guru. I posted on Facebook. I was like, who is the guy that we need to get a hold of that can give us the fitness information? Who's got the credentials? And they kept tagging him. This is Joel JT Tinder. Goes by JT. Woo!
I'm excited, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's nice to have you in here. I'm going to bring you up a little bit. You're a little quiet.
Sure. I'll pick it up too.
Oh man.
No, you're good. Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, we talked about a little bit about this already before we got on here, but for the people to catch you up, before we got on here, I was saying, we're about a month into January. Everybody starts their fitness and their health goals, and they're like, new me, new year.
Who dropped off?
I even just posted on our page. I was like,
dropped off?
Who had resolutions and who's still going strong today? Just to kind of sweeten the pot for when we release everything tomorrow. But I'm like, with all these different resolutions coming up here. Is there anything that people need to know? Like, hey, what's the first step in starting a fitness resolution?
Well, you guys are right on point, man. I just posted to my group today. I've got the main page, obviously, but in my private group where I've got my online clients, I asked them, how did it go this month? You had your resolutions. Do you feel like you're winning? Are you dropping off? And frankly, I'm at 13 workouts for the month. So we're at, let's say, 29th.
Yeah.
So that's not 50%.
Yeah.
It's not even 50%. But at the end of the day, it's really just about the consistency. It's about staying on track with things. There was one little stint this month where I had 4 days straight, felt good, was running. That was an easy week, though.
Yeah.
Easy week for other things, other priorities, other obligations. So we killed it. And then there was another stint this month where I had 4 days where I didn't go at all. So it kind of plays out different ways, different months, different weeks, different times of the year, but just stay on track with it, and most importantly, have some fun. Because if it's all about the work, all about the pounds lost, or whatever it may be, you're gonna lose yourself.
Yeah, I think a big thing that's been popping on the internet, and you might have seen this, especially in the fitness community, and just in the podcasting community, is a doctor by the name of Huberman. Have you heard of Huberman?
No, I don't think
He's
so.
He's like a neuroscientist, and he works basically on the circadian rhythm. And he goes, I think he's from Stanford, and he's been making rounds on every podcast. He's been blowing up because he's basically trying to teach everybody how to reset your neurochemicals in your brain, because we're all inundated with dopamine hits, endorphins all day, and he's basically just trying to get everybody set up to small wins throughout the day. And I saw something similar on your page where you were if you just go to the gym 2 times a week, that's still way more than you did last year.
Right. That's 100 times a year.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if it's something you enjoy, may it be a hike, may it be this or that, it means you're going out and adventuring, and you're going out and exploring different things and having those experiences. It doesn't always have to be fitness, gym, exercises, busting weights. It can be fun.
Yeah.
It can be fun. It just has to be intentional. A lot of people get confused, and they're like, okay, I take 10,000 steps a day at work, but your body gets adjusted to that, just like it gets adjusted to that dopamine that you were referencing.
Yeah.
And we just need it more and more and more. Well, with the walking, it does less and less and less. So just make sure that it's intentional when you get out and do that. But
they have a term for that, right? What is it? Something incline. I can't remember the name.
Progressive overload.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Progressive overload. That's the one where it's like, oh, you as over time you add more, add more,
just
and
a little
do
bit more,
a little bit different,
more.
change it up so that it's not
Absolutely.
the same thing. Yeah.
I mean,
I love. Sorry to cut you off,
You're
but I love the
perfect.
mentality because it sounds like you're always building upon your goals and you're always building upon doing more. I'm all about that because of the positivity in that, right? Like you said, just kind of like being active and staying active in certain ways does help, but you got to build upon that and keep pushing yourself. And,
For sure.
Sometimes people find that hard. So
the further you go into it, the more you learn, and really it's about learning more about yourself. Like, there's all kinds of comparisons, but at the end of the day, you mentioned, I really did want to go back to the dopamine and the scientists that you were talking about, because ultimately what you find in this fitness thing is that once you kind of crack that, okay, I can make it to the gym, I can work out hard, what else is there?
Right.
The sleep is a big thing. The hydration, you see we've got the water here, everybody's got the water around. The hydration's there's so many different levels and tiers to it. It's really just about improving upon yourself.
And focusing on one at a time and just adding it to the bag.
Correct.
Like if you can, the more tricks you can put in the bag,
Absolutely.
the better you are over time. And when I brought up the Huberman things, the big thing that I was thinking about was when he explains like dopamine and how to reset it. One of the big things he talks about is if you like focus on the end goal. Like a lot of people say, just imagine yourself in that bikini in summer, or imagine yourself with muscles, like, and that'll get you there. But one of the things that they are learning through like, learning about dopamine and neurochemicals and how the endorphins work is you have to train your brain almost by lying to it to tell it like, no, the process is because that's how you keep it going.
It's a double-edged sword, yeah.
It is, because if all you think about is the end goal, you're going to drop off. They're basically
Absolutely.
like more than likely you're going to drop off. But if you like say, no, what I enjoy is the pain, like
It's
you
so
train
easy
your brain.
it's so easy to fool yourself and say,
This is
we're
gonna-
going to do it this way, but you look over at that donut, it's like, man, fuck that salad.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, but what?
I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like they're just trying to create a bunch of masochists
Yeah.
in certain ways. But like, but that's cool too.
Well, I think the whole point is to like what they're trying to do is like, since he's a neuroscientist, what they're trying to do is figure out like, how do we get our brain, how do we change our brains from like wanting that quick dopamine hit over and over again and getting used to like between our phones, our food, and everything. We have pornography. They talk about that a lot. Like pornography's fucking kids up hardcore early on, and excuse my French, but like it really is. It's messing these kids up because they're like, it's so easy to get. I was just talking to my girl this morning about it. I was like, and I know like we're early into pornography. We're like probably like 5 minutes, and everybody's like, really? We're already talking about porn?
Already talking
Good
about
morning.
that
Have a
shit.
great Monday. It's almost February. I swear. No, like, but like we were talking this morning. And I was like, I don't know how kids. Like, I feel like my kid's 12, my oldest. I'm like, how are these kids going to survive the world? Because when we were kids, finding porn was like, you had to go through an event. Like you had to go sneak into your
I had to go
stepdad's
to a
room,
neighbor's house.
go to a friend's house,
Fuck, man.
find it like it's a piece of gold on the ground, like
Wait,
in
how
the
old are you
woods.
guys?
I'm 35.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, 35,
that
36.
4 years is a big gap. No,
Yeah.
we're not going to go there.
Well, it kind of can be because like that's the difference between like not everybody had cable.
That's right.
Right, and like some people had satellite back then.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, times were tough, bro. Times were really tough.
These kids don't know how hard it was to like
Struggle's
look
real,
for
bro.
find a fake photo of Britney Spears nude. That's a Photoshop, but it takes like 20 minutes to download that photo, and if it's a bad one, you're like, shit, that's all I got.
I remember
Kids
those
nowadays
days.
they're inundated with everything. I mean, they get teachers with OnlyFans. It's like teachers are getting fired left and right because they have one girl I saw this week. I don't have it. I would pull it up if I had it, but one girl got caught this week. She did like a flash in the mirror at the school she worked at, posted on her OnlyFans. The school got wind of it, and then she gets fired. And I'm like, yeah, that's you. Like if you're at home, like I get it if you're at home, but don't do it at school. Like you're gonna get caught,
Bro, if you're that like into it, I got no problem with OnlyFans or sex workers or any sort, but like, get you a green screen, put a fake school bus. Yo, your followers are still gonna jack off the same. I'm just saying.
That's
It's
a
probably ritual. Like,
Well, I'm just going to leave it at this.
I'm sorry we took this.
I warned them we were calling.
No, I got you.
All right, bet.
We were on LimeWire in like 7th or 8th grade,
Yeah.
downloading stuff. So that's the difference in that 4 years.
Yeah.
You guys were seniors by then, right? So,
I remember that stuff too because I graduated to that.
See, I'm scared for my kids, man. I completely agree. But that's where teaching the healthy habits comes in at the end of the day.
They make you like 31.
I'm 31.
Okay, so
One of my favorite guys, podcaster, big fitness guy's name's Nsima Yang.
Yeah.
Really hard to spell, but and you would never pronounce it the right way. But that's one of the things that he talks about a lot is porn addiction. And,
it's bad.
And how bad it can just be for your overall health and psyche and your development as a man, frankly. I mean, you just don't learn how to treat women, don't understand what it really is to have that type of connection. And, at the end of the day, you've got kids. I got kids as well. We've all got kids here. So it's like, what do we do to steer them away from this type of evil? And put them on the right path. It's going to be hard, but
it's rough.
Well,
I mean,
I think that's where you come in. Obviously, personal training, being not a fitness guru, but a motivator of people. Like you teach your kids those things. You teach your kids that you can be motivators to other people in certain ways. Whether it's I don't care whether you're doing a local podcast, or whatever, or your personal training, whatever you're doing, like you're teaching your kids, like, hey, like
watch high quality porn. Right?
Yes, I knew I liked
right?
you. Yes,
I got you.
And pay for it.
There you go.
And pay for it. That's the thing. Like, if kids nowadays had to pay for it, that stuff would still exist, but they wouldn't be able to get it because it's hard to pay for it.
There you go.
It's just there's too much. Like, honestly, like just the best way.
Ease of access.
Ease of access.
It all circles back around what
you would say.
100 years ago, could you go to the corner store and pick up a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos and down 1,000 calories in 30 seconds, or hit a Whopper down? And how fast do you eat a Whopper? Do you eat Whoppers?
I don't really eat Whoppers, but like a double cheeseburger from there.
Yeah, how quick will you knock it out?
Quick, like maybe like a minute and a half.
Literally, and by that time, that's why you made that decision, is because you're like, fuck, I'm hungry. Like, I got to eat something. You inhale it. 2 minutes later, you're down 1,000 pounds and feel like hell.
Yeah.
I mean,
you ain't lying.
Ease of access across the board,
and just like, I think just the mental health of our nation in general is one thing that I always like to talk about, because when we think about mental health, we always pretend like mental health isn't like or we think about physical health, we don't think about mental health, but like that's what's running the whole physical. Like the mental health runs the physical health, and the physical health can affect the mental health. Like they learned with like gut microbiome, like that there's like receptors in your gut microbiome that go straight to your brain that basically can affect the neurochemistry in your brain negatively. And if you have the wrong gut flora in you, it can literally like cause you to think differently, be depressed, be sad, want to eat, and then it kind of forces you to eat more bad food because the gut flora you have in you feeds off that. You have to like teach your body. It's a really great, like the science of fitness and how much they're learning about our bodies, and how there's no such thing as a solo system. Right. Everything is all encompassing.
Oh yeah,
and we like to think of it as like, oh well, my brain is doing this, but my body, because we like, oh, I turned my brain off to do this with my body. Like we think about that at work. Like you put a podcast on, my brain's listening here, but my body's doing this, and it gets you into another place. It's like we like to separate those two, but they're literally ingrained. Like it's so like together.
They do work together, huh?
That's I do want to.
Weird. It's just weird how that works.
I got a couple of photos that you sent. I got to show the people. See, look, he definitely knows what he's talking about.
Just a little bit.
I showed my girl this photo, and then the first thing she said to me was like, "No, you're not. You're not having that guy on the podcast." I was like, "Yeah, he's the guy coming on the podcast." She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to lunch." She's like, "I can't have some guy with a body like that." I'm like, "Don't worry, he's got a man and you got a man. You got to remember you have a man too."
The coolest thing about this, I told my dad one time, I said, it's really just an illusion, and his response, which I'll never forget, was, "It ain't no damn illusion."
No.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it is. It's lights, camera, action. We've got spray tans on. We're hitting certain angles.
Yeah.
We know at a certain point. There's some older pictures I didn't send you where it doesn't look nearly as crisp or sharp as far as the presentation. But man, the coolest thing about the division that I compete in is that I can walk around in a t-shirt and go to the grocery store, and nobody really knows what I'm hiding underneath. I mean, you can obviously tell I work out. I'm 6'1" and decently broad shoulders, but at the end of the day, that presentation that you see in that picture is a completely different thing. And
Please don't negate yourself.
it.
Like, I can't take a picture like that and look like you.
Yeah.
I don't care how good the lighting is. I don't care how good spray tan I put on. Not the same, bro. So that's all work. All work.
I like it though. I like the vibe of it. Honestly, you interested at all in Jocko? Do you listen to any of that Jocko Willink stuff?
I don't.
Yeah, it's funny because like the random fitness people I listen to. Obviously, I'm not too into fitness. I don't put it into practice too well. But like as far as I like to listen to people who are motivators. Like, in Jocko Willink is one of those guys who's like, he was a Navy SEAL. And that's what he does, an entire podcast. And every day in the morning, you get a black and white photo, and it's like 4:15, and he posts a photo every day on Instagram of like a black and white photo of just his watch, him getting up at 4:15 in the morning.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I've got a 7-year-old almost and an almost 5-year-old, so there's not too many 4:15 wake ups because that requires an 8 o'clock bedtime, and it just doesn't work out that smooth, right?
I mean, that's not how life or time works.
It's not that simple. But
no,
you said this one. This is the fam.
That's the family.
Is
right
that
there.
Disneyland or World?
That's last summer at Disney, Florida, whatever. World. There you go.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
we all are family people. He and I are both engaged,
Yeah.
And we've got a bunch of kids, so we in full houses.
Honestly, so like we're eventually planning weddings and stuff like that. So we're probably gonna have to get in hella shape, right? So
there you go.
Right.
Especially because our girls are already going to look amazing because they know what to do. They do that every day.
Yeah.
We just roll out of bed, put on glasses, some shirts, and walk. So we're going to need to do something with ourselves.
For
Yeah. Yeah. I should probably do better. I'm not gonna lie.
So tell me a little bit about this.
Just for you fit. So I'm JT.
JT, I like that.
Yep, I'm JT. So I've got a J at the beginning and a T at the end. It's kind of hidden in there.
Yeah.
But it really is what it says. Fitness is just for you.
Yeah.
That 4 is in there. Threw it in there also because I'm the 4th.
And this is some of the material you sent, signs you're making. See, that's what I like. One of the things I do like about your stuff is that you're kind of, like you said, baby steps. Take it one step at a time.
That's what it's all about, man. You said it's always self-deprecating. It's obviously I'm not into fitness. Well, your mental health might be 10 times more powerful than the next person.
Yeah.
Right. I'm what's known as a hard gainer. So my brother is the same height. He's 6'1", but $160.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm either going to be extremely thin or I'm going to look the way that I do with the exercise that I put on myself. But that doesn't necessarily equate to powerful mental health. It doesn't always equate. So there's a lot of different ways to look at it, and what you might see on social media might be a lot different than what somebody's trying to portray it as.
Yeah, and then I like this as well. This is something you sent that's like how to get a hard workout at home. And a lot of people, they can't make it to a gym. It's something that's hard for them to get in their system, or they can't afford it at this point. Mm-hmm. But there are ways to actually do things at home. Body weight exercises work, especially if you're trying to maintain. And if you, just like we talked about earlier with progressive overload, if you just add one more thing to the group, you can actually make some actual fitness.
Yeah, one of the simplest forms of exercise is just walking. Again, has to be intentional. You might have right outside your house, there might be an incline going up one part of the neighborhood or whatever it may be. So just kind of thinking outside of the box and trying to make things a little bit more difficult can go a long way.
Yeah, I think it's important. One of the things that Andrew Huberman, the guy, I'm going to keep bringing him up just because I really think he's got some really great tools as well, and he's one of those online guys that's hopefully going to drive more people to you that actually can get that personalized plan, because a lot of people, they may start the workout the decision to work out starts at here, but then you still need help. You still need the tools. You still need somebody to help you out. And one of the things he always says is the first thing, like in the first hour that you wake up, go outside, get sunlight in your eyes, and walk. Just walk. He's like, you got a dog? Take him for a walk. First thing in the morning, get up, wake up. Don't grab your phone. Don't go straight to the dopamine hit there. Go take a walk. And that's what gets, like, because cortisol builds up overnight when you sleep, and it's like the stress hormone, and people worry about cortisol because it actually makes it impossible to burn fat. Like, it's if you have too much cortisol, it actually hurts your ability to burn fat. So one of the things he says is you want your cortisol to peak in the middle, like in the beginning of the day, and the best way to do that is to get sunlight in your eyes, because that's what wakes you up. Cortisol's it's like a whole stress hormone. You get it whenever like you're running, like fight or flight. It's like that's what hits you and gets you like your adrenaline pumping and stuff. It's pretty crazy. It's a lot of.
It all makes sense though. It all absolutely makes sense.
Hormones are an extremely under addressed topic in the whole health realm, and dude, the screen time is one of the biggest killers, and then all the things that we mentioned earlier on in the podcast about the dopamine, Mike. It's just too easy to access. If again, you just had to imagine you still had to get some fire from outside, or some wood from outside to keep the fire going when you woke up in the morning, and you had to, go do a few chores first thing when you woke up. That's kind of what it's all about. People want to go, oh, carnivore diet this, or there's so many different extremes that people will subscribe to in this fitness realm, except for actual real things that happened. It's like, no, they weren't eating a steak at every single meal. Do you understand how difficult that would have been? Like, you can't just say, okay, all I'm going to eat is meat. That nobody ever did that.
Yeah.
That's not how it worked out. So
it's not the norm. There's some weirdos out there on the internet. If you can find them, there's what's the guy? There's the carnivore guy that
make you say it, 'cause
do you know his name?
No,
I can't remember his name, but he's
Liver
also
King.
Sean.
Liver
no,
King.
Liver King's bad too.
Okay.
But I'm talking about Sean.
R.I.P. I guess.
Yeah, Liver King got caught. He got caught lying, and he's been juicing and stuff. Which
he finally told the truth.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
Well, he got caught, and then they came out and made him tell the truth, which it is what it is. But there's a doctor named Sean something. I can't remember his last name right now, but he does nothing but carnivore. He just eats steaks and eggs, like steak and eggs all day, and he's been doing it for years apparently.
I mean, I'm sure you can do that, and like with enough self-control of anything. Say you do that, and you have a constant workout routine. You're probably gonna look okay, right?
There's no issue with doing it. It's the convincing so many people to subscribe to the notion that this is your fix.
Yeah.
When that's not the fix. It's let's talk about all the things that we're currently talking about right now.
People turn it into like a dogma.
And just
like it's
let
a
people
religion
know.
almost. They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you gotta eat. This is the only way that you can do this. And I actually you sent a graphic as well that I want to bring up really quick, because a lot of people, we're talking about carnivore build. A lot of people think like their whole life needs to be, I've seen people that are like, oh, it's got to be salads. It's got to be salads. A lot of women will, fall into juice cleanses and salads, and men will fall into it's just rice and chicken, man. Rice, chicken, and broccoli, man.
Yep.
And you see people, and it's like, I like the fact that here you can eat pretty much whatever. Like, you want to keep an emphasis on health.
I wish there was more than just the pancakes on the right side, but I mean, you kind of get the picture.
Right.
Yeah, well, you got avocado on there. You got a lot of healthy like
Yeah.
broccoli. You've got, I mean, the eggs thing is pretty hilarious to me, because as we all know, like, you can't, in order to get eggs nowadays, you have to get signed
holy
up.
moly.
I
I haven't seen that one. That's
Bro,
hilarious.
I finally found a plug
On
in
eggs?
Washington. Yeah, I can't like divulge too much, but
Nah,
like
don't say
I
too
got an
much.
egg plug.
I got an egg plug.
Yeah.
That's how it is nowadays too. Like, it is an egg plug.
I can't say we're either, but my brother's got a neighbor.
Yeah. Feel
I
it.
love it. No, I know eggs, like, they've gotten a bad reputation for a long time because there's so much cholesterol in eggs, but
It's here or there. Is it sugar's fault? Is it fat's fault?
Yeah.
Is it dietary cholesterol?
Is it what you do after you ate?
yeah.
Correct.
What time did you eat? What time? You ate at the wrong time.
Correct. Yeah.
That's all.
Again, if people could just take it easy, go slow, build on a few things. It's really, I ask people to focus on what's the most challenging. But you got a lot of people that are night eaters, so really just try to identify what is the most challenging part. And just for that one example, for instance, if you're eating the entire kitchen at night, odds are you've probably deprived yourself the entire day.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
it's just small habits that it might be identifying something that is completely different than what you thought
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, it makes perfect sense. My girl, she works all day. She'll be at the restaurant. She works at Fox's Trail downtown. Get you some food. And they're not open today. But
Ask for
actually,
Shelby.
they are. It's Monday. Ask for Shelby. Yeah, she won't be there Monday. Ask for Wednesday through Friday. Or Saturday. Whatever. I went last night and got a couple of margaritas. I had a great time. They made me a BLT. I was there till like 11, even though they closed at 10. I got connections. But I went up there to see her, and she doesn't eat because she's on her feet all night. Run, doesn't eat. And then she gets off work, wants to come home, and it's like 11:30 at night. And she's like, I'm going to get a bowl of cereal. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's so bad. You're going to
go for it.
It's like you go and do that, and then you fall right to sleep. I was like, I don't even know how she sleeps. Like, her insulin's working overtime, I guess.
Do you know if it's quality sleep? There's a difference between quantity and quality.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, that's true.
I kind of understand it. I'm a night eater,
Yeah.
but like I work afternoons at the shoot job or whatever, and like I don't like eating there because it's dirty.
Oh yeah, I don't like
That's
eating when I'm in there either.
Yeah, that's a huge problem for me. So like I try to eat before I go to work, and then I'll eat after.
What's try to eat mean?
Try to eat some. sometimes it's like, yo, I grab like leftovers. Sometimes I don't eat. Sometimes I just drink a Red Bull. Sometimes I just drink coffee. It just really depends on the day, man.
There you go.
I know. I like my
So
health
you're one of those
habits are
that
not
says
very
that
good.
they're fasting, but what they really mean is I forget to eat all the time, so I'm just gonna say that I
Oh
fast.
no. I'm one of those. I don't say I'm doing anything. I just
Fair
am
enough.
what I am, bro.
There you
Yeah.
go.
He's smart because when you talk about it, that's another thing they say neurochemically is if you talk about your goals, you actually are less likely to because you get the dopamine hit just from talking about the idea.
Yeah.
The idea of losing weight, the idea of doing a project is enough to sometimes. You ever hear people will make that joke all the time, be like, "Today I thought about all the things I could be doing, and it made me feel good enough to not want to maybe, and then I forgot I was supposed to do them."
That's almost like going to the grocery store and buying all the healthy groceries. Then you're too exhausted to cook when you get home.
then you
order
order
the
out.
pizza.
McDonald's or
good to
pizza
go.
or whatever. Yeah,
It's a great idea. It's a great thought, but you got to put it into action. I think you
Yeah.
actually said that earlier.
yeah. It's just one of those things. You know, a lot of people. It's easy to talk about. Like, it really is. It's easy to be like, this is like, for me, I'm one of those people that I'm so into. It's the funny thing. I'm so into fitness, but I don't really put a lot of practice into it. I need to do more. I know.
It sounds like you're pretty well studied. I mean,
Yeah,
At the
I
end
like
of the
a lot of
day, again,
stuff.
it's a broad topic. It's not just the exercise, but does the exercise help as you age and your muscle mass needs to be increased because you can't walk up or downstairs anymore? Well, at that point, you may be thinking about it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean, so it's more well rounded than you think, and it's for some reason other things have stuck out to you, and
Yeah.
other certain things haven't.
Yeah.
I just actually lost my
yo-yo.
grandfather, and
Oh,
so.
no.
Well, it's I appreciate it, but one of the things that you see is that literally being able to move at the end of one's life becomes extremely, laborsome.
Oh, no.
So
we see that.
we're
Yeah.
looking for the gradual decline, and I tell a lot of people you want to be able to stand up off the toilet
Yeah.
when you're 70 or 80 years old.
My
And
grandpa, he literally has had that conversation with me because like when he sees me, I yo-yo, I go up and down all the time. I just one of those people. I get really into it and I just like dive in and I lose a bunch of weight and then I feel comfortable and I feel good and then slowly put it back on over time. And I actually lose it quicker than I put it back on over time. But like it's just the way I am. And my grandpa will bring me aside and he's like 85 years old, so he'll be like, "You don't understand. Arthritis is going to get you when you're older. You're going to feel it in your knees. You're going to wish it." And he's a row guy. Up until maybe 15 years ago, he would row all the time. That was his way because he was a traveling salesman, so he's in a car all the time. It was the only way. So he bought a rowing machine. He could literally cart with him everywhere. And then if he went to a place that had a gym, he would just use it there. But he had one he would bring with him on the road, which was pretty hilarious.
I wonder at what point he realized mentally that like I need this.
Yeah.
I need this other outlet to keep me moving.
It was the adult onset diabetes. He
Unfortunately,
never took insulin, never took any drugs. He just controlled it himself. He's one of those guys though. Like he reminds me of like an old war veteran. Like he was in the military for a while, and it's like that became his personality. And he's kind of just like one of those no nonsense guys where he's like, "Oh, okay, what do I need to do? Okay, done." Yeah. And he just incorporates in his life. He has no. It's autism, I think. I'm just kidding. I don't know. He's got that personality. It makes me wonder sometimes because he's the emotional side of his brain is so checked out.
Sure.
But the logical side is like, I always thought I was super logical, and then I met that guy, and I was like, he just never worked on the emotional half. He just stayed in that, like, A plus B equals C. All right, we're done. Like, you know what I mean? It's real simple.
I don't need to know anymore. Anymore. Why did A pop up? Why is C there? I don't.
Why are there letters in math?
What's going on?
Are they different colors? If they're different colors, does that equate different like equations? I'm just like, my bad, bro.
Who is Pythagoras? Why does he have a theorem?
Yeah.
You know? What is it? Isn't it just one?
A plus
Isn't it
B
A squared plus B
equals
squared plus C
C
squared?
squared?
That's one thing we can remember.
Yeah.
That's all somebody did. I was perusing like TikTok, and somebody had a video where they're like, "I'm going to show you how to use Pythagoras theorem." I'm like, "I'm sure you are." So I figured it was going to be A squared, and he was like showing it because that's how you make a box or whatever. He was showing how to make a right angle. And apparently that's how you make a perfect right angle, and he was explaining it, and he was showing it with a ruler, and I was like, the whole time I'm like, I've never seen anybody do this in real life. Have you ever seen anybody do it, like use it in real life?
No. I mean, we work in factory and like, we don't do math. It's already been done for us.
People do plenty of math. Oh, you said math. My bad.
Yeah. The other people do plenty of that.
Yeah, sometimes at work.
Don't
It's
do
a little
drugs,
wild.
kids.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
It's too much. I don't know if you guys saw this. I was going to bring this up. I figured this was the right day to bring it in. This guy right here, the Guinness World Record for the biggest pizza ever.
I love it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody ate it though. That's my thing. It's like if you make the biggest pizza, you should have to eat it.
Why the fuck are you? I ain't eating four
Seems
pizza,
like such
bro.
a waste of food.
It really does.
It's like the most American thing we could ever do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ease of access.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of
Hot
grossed
topic.
out by this, especially because he's advertising for Pizza Hut.
Yeah, I think, and it doesn't look deep dish enough for Pizza Hut. It doesn't look, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Deep dish is the one thing they do good.
I
or
know.
do
I
well.
like a thin crust, but like I don't know. Pizza Hut's kind of garbage, to be honest.
Yeah, my girl hates Pizza Hut too. I just thought it was funny when I saw that. And then this week, I don't know if you guys, it happened this week, and I was like, oh, we're having the fitness guru. That's what I'm calling him. The fitness guru, JT, the fitness guru, come through. And I'm like, I don't know if you get this went super viral all over the internet this week. It said obese is the N word for plus side people, and then nobody had the foresight to read her name, Dr. Anita B. Eaton, PhD. And so this is actually a troll account that actually, if you see, I don't know if I can't tell it on here, but you see how many 29,000, and this was early on. It got even more. It blew up everywhere. Lots of stuff. It's very obviously a troll account, and this popped up that need to be eaten, and then it got people talking about in general like the body positivity movement, and the difference between it.
I mean, I don't think anything is the N word for the N word.
There you go. Check
let's
that off.
Let's just
Get
start
that done.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they knew the right way to bring it up to like definitely piss people off.
Yeah. No.
It makes you wonder how much stuff on the internet is even real. Because
Yeah.
what are the odds that that's
None of
really,
it.
really her name?
No, it's not real.
And so,
It's
right.
completely
And so at
fake.
the end of the day, it's like, come on now.
None of it is
It's always
real.
stirring the pot.
It
but-
also explains our culture where people didn't even read the name of the woman. Like,
Right.
And we capitalize this on our satire page all
Yes.
the time. We'll make posts with a name that's completely, you can tell it's fake. Like I think the last time
People
Brian
start
made a
commenting,
joke.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
cannot
goodness.
believe this. What is the world becoming?
So much.
People wanna
death
be
threats
mad.
before. Yeah.
People want to be outraged. They'll do anything to be outraged, including ignore the red flags.
People keep saying they're gonna put our organ or our things in a jar. It's weird, man. It's just really weird, though.
It doesn't also help that like I hate to break it to
Sacrifice
people
us
on the
the
internet,
key.
but if you say this word is like saying the N word, no, it's not, because you called it the N word. Yeah. Obviously, that's the worst word if you won't say it. I think that's like a something that's been brought up a million times. Anybody tries to say something is like the N word. I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. There's a reason that word is the N word. There is a reason why. For me, anyway, it's
Enough
definitely the
said.
word for me.
I mean, absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
awful.
Absolutely.
And then Eminem, because of what happened this week, Eminem had to come out, and there's been so much controversy on the right with M&Ms and the shoes and the different thing that they came out and they said, hey, listen, we're gonna go ahead and get rid of our spokes candies, and we're gonna move into Maya Rudolph is now the official spokesperson for Eminem, which is pretty interesting to me.
So what was the problem with their candies having shoes?
I don't know. It's been like a joke. I don't know if you followed any of this Tucker Carlson stuff, but he made a
love
joke.
the M&M commercials.
I know. We all did. They were great. It is like
Absolutely.
love when they mess with Santa. That's hilarious.
they made the green one have like, was it the green one that had like boots, and then they made a big deal about it, and now they had a brown one that's wearing like high heels, and people were like mad that they're not
All this
wearing them.
because Tucker Carlson got horny, bro. Like over some candy. Like, I find this ridiculous. America is horrible. I'm so happy we canceled America on the Weekly Plug. By the way, watch the Weekly Plug. No, found right here.
Weekly plug. He's like, I'm gonna go ahead and plug myself real quick. Weekly plug. This is the most recent episode. Check it out.
But this is ridiculous, bro. Not ridiculous. I think it's fucking hilarious. They're changing the name of M&M's to Maya's. I
Yeah.
saw that too.
That's cool.
So that's pretty cool. I love it.
What does M&M even stand for? Do we know?
Ooh.
Mars and Mars.
Yeah,
or
I
something.
thought it was Marshall Mathers, but I don't know.
I don't know. That you need an E in that.
I know.
Yeah.
M&M.
Yeah.
M&M.
M.
I see Scrap at the gym, man. So I don't know what you guys are up to, but you're falling
Oh,
behind.
I know.
He's calling you out.
Yeah.
He said you're standing in that ring. wearing that shirt.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
He gets it. He gets it in, man.
He posted a photo today, and I commented on it because he was like, "Oh no, there's somebody's in here making a TikTok." He's like, "I got to switch gyms now because somebody's making a TikTok," and I'm like, "Don't look her in the eyes, or you're gonna be called one of those guys that's gawking." Because that popped up last week. We talked about. Have you seen this recent rash of women?
There's a guy that addresses that, and he's pretty cool. It's been interesting to see him develop over like 8 years and what he does with his fitness account, but he calls those women out for inappropriately calling out those men.
Yeah, it's
and
pretty
so it's
weird.
kind of like a I got you type of page. But
the internet is so weird.
It's fun, man.
Because it's just for everybody.
It is.
It really is, because like everybody can have your own section. All the females can be like, "This guy's looking at me. I don't like that." And
that's sometimes the case. That is,
bitch. I was just trying to get a towel.
But typically it's aimed at people that are like 50 and 60, and it's weird because it's like, okay, they've been coming to the gym for longer than you've been alive. So just for them, it's different. It's weird. They're not on TikTok. They don't have any idea what you're doing, and they don't want to be in your video. At the end of the day.
We have the most narcissistic culture in the world, I think. Just in the sense that everyone, like, we're narcissists, I guess, because like we think people watch this, and I hope people watch this because we put time and effort into it. But like, but at the same time, like to think that everywhere you go, somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, that's that person." Bro, you're not that popular. I'm not that popular. You can go to the store, like, you can go pump gas.
Exactly.
Like, I can
you
go
imagine what it'd be like
to a
to be
convenience
actually
store and nobody
famous?
bugs me, right? Like,
Yeah, that'd be rough.
That would be absolutely. So like,
it's awkward when I get stopped at a Wendy's and they're like, "Hey, I like your videos." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, imagine if that's everywhere you went.
Right.
I couldn't. Like, it's fun. It's a fun story to tell people, but sometimes it gets really, really awkward really quickly.
Well, that can be part of something that we talk about in fitness too.
Yeah,
it's known as the imposter syndrome. You just you kind of have to get you're familiar.
Yep.
Yeah, you just kind of have to get over this.
I have that heavy. I'm not gonna lie.
I think for me, I think people would look at me and think there's no way he doesn't feel comfortable doing this. But at the end of the day, it's a growing.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. It's step by step. That wasn't always me. And when I look in the mirror, I still don't see that. I mean, you should see the guys that I follow on social media at the end of the day. I'm still 50% as strong as some of the guys that I follow. I'm still, 60 pounds lighter than some of the guys my height doing this also professionally. So there's levels to this shit.
Absolutely.
As we say.
I posted on my personal page this past week that like even those you look up to have a lot to learn.
Absolutely.
And it was because I was self-reflecting. I was like, man, like I look up to these people, but like I know that they're learning, they're grinding, they're learning different things than I am, right? But like that's so cool because I'm gonna keep pushing, and I know if they keep pushing, that's gonna keep pushing me in a sense. And I don't know. That's the way I look at things. I do need to get a couple or get some reps in the gym. Absolutely.
Well, for those into the fitness thing, it's it's imposter syndrome and identity. It's like, what do you can't feel uncomfortable in the gym, and you can't feel like you don't belong if you just identify as I'm a beginner.
Yeah.
You don't identify as, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing and I can fix myself all by myself. And everybody can get online, figure it out, read, do the research, do the right things, learn the things that you've learned and brought up. But at the end of the day, it's easier to hire the person that's been doing it for 15 or 20 years and has kind of worked through those levels on their own and can kind of help guide you along the way.
Well, especially to have that interpersonal like effect, that one-to-one time, super important. And I don't think enough people like understand that or get that. And even if like it's through text, like you said, like your group chat and stuff like that.
I promise you, the people that utilize it get more out of it.
Absolutely.
It's just that simple.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know I find that in just random things that I'm in, especially if it's inspirational or positive, just motivational things like that. Like, absolutely,
it's interesting. I think sometimes just people will think a certain way and be like, well, I can do it on my own. Kind of like what you just said. I can do it on my own. I saw it on the internet. I know all the things. But sometimes that extra set of eyes can see actually your form is off.
Yeah.
You're doing something wrong right now, and could actually hurt yourself or strain your back in a
Right.
certain way, strain your shoulders, strain your arms. And sometimes you need that. I went to the gym with a buddy of mine. Great. He does a good job. He's been working out since like middle school. Just
Right.
great. I never really was in the gym when I was younger. I just played sports outside.
Sure.
And I was hanging out. I hang out with a buddy, and we would go to the gym, and he would show me like, oh, you have to do this, like get your back. And it it's a little part we know about bro science. It's a little bro sciencey sometimes, but we all like to talk to each other and teach each other things and show each other things. That's why we do podcasts and weird shit that we do, is that we like to take the stories we have or the things we've learned and throw them together. And if you can get somebody that knows what they're doing in the gym, specifically a trainer that can be like, no, you got to do this, you got to figure this out, and somebody that can keep you motivated, like, what are you eating? What do you, like, talk to you, because sometimes that's all
Are
it
you
takes.
eating?
Are you eating? Yeah. Are you eating enough? Maybe
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
eating enough right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you're not giving yourself the time to put that protein back into your system, that to get the carbohydrates back in your. You need carbs
Right.
for your muscles.
Right.
Like you have to have, and that's where it's glycogen gets stored in your muscles. You know what I mean? And you deplete them, and then that's how you build and tear it, and then you rebuild them. So it's like it's important. It's important to have somebody help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was telling me I was telling him about, like, hey, did you hear about all these women freaking out about people in the gym? And he was laughing so hard. He was like, bro, you'll never believe what happened the other day. And I was like, oh no, some woman. He's like, no, it's even better than that. He's like, I was at the gym working out. He's like, I can put up 315. Like my bench is like 315. He's like, I was doing 295 and I got cocky. And he didn't have somebody specifically there to spot him. And he started to go down, and he said a guy who was gawking at him, really, he was just waiting to use the bench press after him, noticed and helped him out.
Yep.
And it's like sometimes the guy watching you is really just watching out for you.
Absolutely.
He wants, and a lot of these videos I've seen that where it seems like the guy's waiting on the waiting to use the
Could be simple as that.
rack, and
Could be simple as
he's
that.
like, hey, I'll help you clean this up. Do you need help doing it? He wants you to move quicker. Really, he's like, get out of my damn way. I want to do some
think
squats.
some of
next.
that
Don't
is-
worry about cleaning it. I got it. Go
gotta
on.
get
Get
out
out
of
of
here.
here.
You think that some of that is just like, hey, they're actually doing this really well. Maybe I need to incorporate some of that in my repertoire, sort of thing. I don't know. It could be a lot of sort of things, but
There's a mix between, to that point and to the point you were making before about your buddy helping you.
Yeah.
There's a mix between the science behind it and actually getting out and doing it.
Yeah.
right,
At the end
right.
of the day, I mean, how were statues built
Yeah.
hundreds of years ago of these guys looking the way that they look?
Yep.
I mean, they didn't have somebody sciencing them and saying, hey, you need to lift like this and pick
No.
up that hay bale this way and make sure you eat your protein for dinner. It was just
Work.
It was just hard ass work. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, you got a lot of guys that, oh, my testosterone's
Or
low
aliens.
or whatever. Go do something manly.
Yeah.
Go lift something heavy. Go force yourself to be uncomfortable. But to just rely on anecdote or to just rely on the science
Yeah.
would be a fail.
Absolutely.
You have to kind of get out, get your hands dirty. And we see a lot of that with the coaches who maybe they're not PhD, but maybe they've taken all the classes. They've got their BS. They've got this certification. They go through all these nutrition courses, but then they get out there to coach somebody, and it's like, oh shit, like I've not actually done this yet.
Right.
And so you're starting at zero level of experience.
Right.
Experience goes a long way, no matter what the realm is. So
Yeah.
getting your hands dirty helps, and then I had a good experience in my life where I got to actually have the opportunity for a short period of time where I was dealing with hundreds and hundreds of clients on a very short time span. So it just gives you that beating over the head of this scenario, that scenario, this person's issue. Oh shit, everybody's got issues.
Definitely
I
saw a
thought
lot
that
of life
millionaire was
experiences.
gonna be fully together, but oh no, they're not at all. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
so everybody's got different issues, man, and take the anecdote, take the science, get out there, get your hands dirty.
Yep.
But don't rely too heavily. And like you said, you've got the interest in it, but just mix it up. Get out there, go on a hike.
Yeah, I had a couple of these that are pretty wild. That I don't know if you guys heard about this week, that this lady got this physician who claimed obesity can't be treated with diet and exercise joins Biden administration, which I thought was a pretty interesting thing to have happen. Because I mean, honestly, if you don't think that obesity can't be treated with diet and exercise, then how do we treat it? Like, it
Yeah.
kind of gets scary at that point, because like then you're talking about medical intervention, because that's really all we have left after that.
Well, it seems to be the trend, just the easy way out. But
It
you
does.
know,
It really does. I saw that and was like, man, like, what are they going to do to these kids? Because I read something recently that they have decided that they want to. Basically, they have guidelines set up for like surgical intervention on medical and drug intervention for like 13-year-olds as young as 13. Like
that's insane.
this
I wanna
thing
go
popped
outside,
up.
like he said, like go on a walk, Like,
do something.
I mean, I know at a certain point, like at some points, like some of this stuff is becoming genetic, right?
Yeah.
And more genetic. Maybe I'm wrong about that, right? But like if you come from people that didn't take care of their bodies, or things, and you don't take care of your bodies, and like
nutrition's a learned behavior. 100%. I mean, there's extreme cases, but that little girl doesn't buy her own food.
No.
You know, so
that said this is 5-year-old is obese. I have to lock her out of the kitchen. This is the mother and the dog. And so you can see the mother, like, she looks pretty put together. It's like, how do you?
The easy way out is to say, yes, you can have it. I don't want to hear you crying. It's been a long day. So like, as a parent, and as, you know, again, as we age, we become better coaches and better be able to relate more to wider populations. But no, you can't just say yes to the little girl. You're literally killing her at that point.
Yeah, you're not helping the situation. And I mean, it really just comes down to, if you have to like lock your kitchen, then maybe remove them out of your kitchen. Don't have them in there.
Yeah, why are you buying certain things like that? Like, or I don't know, man. I
don't mean to be this isn't a.
Well, I guess I'm assuming we don't know what's in there.
No, we don't know.
So.
We don't know. What I mean, we're assuming, but also it's pretty like it's a pretty easy jump. It's not like a super jump to conclusion there, because like
we don't know what's in there. I just know it's a whole fucking lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. I mean, that little girl, this is fucked up to me, because like at the end of the day, like that little girl has been irreparably damaged by the fact that she hasn't had somebody to like teach her self-control and to get her the right foods, because at this point, even if she loses the weight, her body has been, and she looks she's 5.
She's 5, yeah.
Her body's been damaged.
All we're doing is going off the headline here. So I mean,
yeah.
So I don't love the trend that like we're not like holding parents accountable to an extent. Like we're just being like, hey, all right, we can fix this with medical stuff. Like
this is an extreme case, but childhood obesity is a big deal. And again, I think to me it stems from just what we're doing as adults. We're busy all the time. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the easy way out. It's still in our face. It's still convenient. The ease of access. People are complaining about food prices. Food prices really aren't that bad if you actually cook. They're high. They're up. Don't get me wrong. But what are we buying so much of that is so expensive? Like, so we look at obesity differently than any other addiction, but I mean, for some people it is simply that. For others, it's just a coping mechanism. But to not teach your child how to cook or how to feed themselves or how to care for themselves is no different than not teaching them how to brush their teeth or wipe their ass.
It's just one more component. And I just don't understand. Like I said, from what we're seing, this is all based off just the headline photo, which is what we were looking at.
Yeah.
The mother looks absolutely put together. I mean, she looks like she's got a little, she got a little junk in the trunk. Like, I'm not trying to say that she's the skinniest woman ever, but she looks way healthier than her own kid.
Sure.
Yeah.
And on top of it, it looks like hair done, nails done, everything did. And I'm like, what's going on, man? You need to take care of your kid. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, I'm just really wondering when you pay attention to this kid, bro. Are you just like,
it worries
TV
me.
And fucking TV dinners? You
and
know what I mean?
iPads, like YouTube all day. I got my kid. I got my 2-year-old's already addicted to this. I have to like take it away from him. And like he's a 2-year-old. He's obviously moving. He's not like sitting there just watching it all day. But like he'll walk around with my iPad just flipping through videos, like, and they're kids' videos. But I'm like, no, we can't do this all day.
We gotta go do something.
This to something.
And you got to check check yourself as father. Same in our house too. It's okay. Thank you for it was a gift. The iPad was a gift for us, actually. Yeah. We didn't buy it, but it's like, thank you. Now it's a new thing we have to learn, and that's okay. It's like we didn't have those as kids, so it's a new thing for our generation to learn how to manage and adapt to as we're teaching and evolving. But
when we were kids, we had a normal childhood, the 70s, when a kid would blow out their birthday candles over the top of an ashtray, put away from an open beer.
Exactly.
I know we like to, part of what we're doing nowadays is a lot of times we like to look at stuff and be like, kids nowadays are so much worse off. We had some pretty terrible health things when we were kids as well. So we're not speaking, over here pretending like we're coming on like Mount Olympus on a pedestal.
I don't want to hear anything from the generation of vapes and Trulies. Go fuck yourself. Bro, it's the same shit.
Yeah, I know, it's the same thing.
That's what I was saying. It's just generationally, there's going to be some new challenge, some new hurdle.
Absolutely. I think it was a perfect segue because of what you were saying. I'm like, we all have to deal with new technology, the new way, and learning how to manage it for ourselves.
Yeah.
And then as we get more, as we learn more, like cigarettes, we know they're bad for us now. A lot less people smoke cigarettes now. They vape a lot, but they don't smoke cigarettes as much as they did, and a lot of that has to do with just the science, and then putting it out there for people and letting them learn, this is bad for you. I don't know if you know this, but this isn't great for you.
Yeah, I'm aware.
I'm talking to him now at this point.
My bad, bro.
This is actually an intervention.
I kind of felt this was coming.
I just don't know how kids are
literally
supposed to...
put me in the middle of it.
How are kids supposed to live in a world and be healthy when they can get icy Oreos?
Yeah, and they're teaming up on us, man. It's not fair as parents. It's
Not
like
at all.
Every market is a mixture, and they're collabing, and
There's no way this is good.
There's no way.
There's no...
I don't know, man.
I don't know. There's no way.
They're going to say it is. The kids are going to say it is.
Yeah, that's it.
I bet
With advanced taste buds and a little maturity, you realize... And there's a little...
I don't know.
Their palates are garbage.
They absolutely are.
Palates. I saw this. Actually, I took the picture personally. I was at Target, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, and you can't even just get both flavors in one? I got to buy two? All right, I'll buy two. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. But it made me laugh because I'm like...
It looks like the packages are smaller, too.
Yeah, they do look tiny, but they're going to charge $2.79 for it an hour. $2.79 an hour. That's how much you get paid to have these. Yeah. I just think it's crazy, all these collabs. One of the things that I shared this week as well was animal crackers covered in Reese's peanut butter cups. I'm like, there goes everybody's.
Oh, my God.
It's like, that sounds really good.
It does.
It's terrible.
It does.
I'm not going to lie. Reese's are killing me because they are stuffing everything in like a big cup. And I'm just like, bro, can I just get the peanut butter?
Oh! I got hit.
Oh, no.
Nobody can see it. It's okay.
Oh, no.
Edit that out.
I got to edit that out. No, I was like, we'll keep it in. Everybody can see me get hit. I'm sure a lot of you were really happy to see that.
Try to keep him on his toes.
Yeah, I got it. Let's put that down here real quick. There we go. Yeah, we got the beautiful fitness guru sign that my girl made for you. So it hit me in the head.
I feel so terrible now.
No, you're good. You didn't do anything. No, I put it up here thinking I could have it in the side shot with me, and it worked out for a while there, so people saw it for a minute. We had it originally over here, and then it just kept getting blocked, and it was just made it kind of difficult, and I wanted to open that up to be able to put a drink over there. So.
Love it. Needed it.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do in this world. I saw this as well. I thought this went along with the whole fitness in the gym thing. As you can see, she's in the gym, and it says, I have M-cup breasts. Americans treat me like a piece of meat. And I'm like, I think you treat you like a piece of meat.
Yeah, you didn't get M-cup breasts on your own. Don't lie to yourself, bro. Like,
it's just, to me, it's the weirdest looking picture because, like
how you going
no
to
ass.
M-cup? But
you were going there,
bro. Look, leg day's important, right? It's like important as fuck, right? Like,
And it is.
like, how much do you stress on squats? Because I feel
lunges.
like that.
Again, the majority of the guys that are going to the gym and getting in there and complaining about still lack of progress, we're doing the easy things.
Yeah.
We got to do the hard, and legs are hard, so it seems like she's taking the easy way out more than once. But
And your glute muscles, they have to be activated, right? Like everybody's born with glute muscles, but they're not like fully formed. You have to activate them by working out, right? I read something.
you might be losing me a little bit on that.
Okay.
I might be unstudied. I might not know my stuff on that one. But
I just read like pretty much anybody can build an ass is what I've read. It's like it's just like having like a muscle here. You could have a muscle here if you work on it, and your glute muscles. If you have no ass, it's usually because you haven't activated your glute muscles.
As far as being born, I think it's a developmental thing. Think about how young we are when they put us in a chair for 6 to 8 hours a day.
You're right.
Think about what we do after that, right? And how many people, again, as we've become new generations, are still sitting on their ass. So it's really a game of if you don't use it, you lose it. But you watch your child sit in a perfect squat while playing with their Legos or picking up stuff off the floor. Their glutes are working. Trust me.
You're right.
Their glutes are working perfectly well. Their balance is on point.
Well, maybe they built the glutes and then they get older and they go through school and then they just get saggy ass syndrome like the rest of us.
Well, there's always different levels to different stuff. It's the childhood development. Are we getting the kids to the playground? Are we doing due diligence to let them be fully developed and fully well-rounded in their health?
Brazilian mother gives birth to a giant baby measuring 2 feet tall and weighing at 16 pounds.
That's amazing.
I don't know if I believe this, but that baby looks huge.
Yo, book it. What, 25 years?
That's crazy.
That giant baby versus, I don't know, whoever's in wrestling.
Oh, you went wrestling. I was thinking basketball.
Of course I
like
went
2 feet
wrestling.
tall. 2 feet tall in my head. I'm like, oh, we've got the next Embiid. He's
There
going
you
to,
go.
from Brazil, except for,
No.
Actually, I'll probably end up playing fucking soccer, though, because that's what they always end up
Not
playing.
wrong. I'm just thinking about the big gate, right? Like, just, for wrestling, that would just be great.
Well,
bro.
it's the big show.
New baby Big Show.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll take that. Paul, what's his name? Paul
Paul White.
Paul White.
Yeah.
See, I was going to say Paul White, but I was like,
Told
yeah,
you,
he got it.
Not hardcore, but I know enough.
You know your stuff. I got you.
No.
That's what's up, man.
Oh, man. The good news is I think we're all waking up and we have the access to the information now,
Absolutely.
which I think is an important part of like changing the culture, because like we spent so much time like with the food pyramid kind of being bogus. Like a lot of the fitness guidelines or health and food guidelines that we've had through the FDA have been like kind of worked around with different food companies were able to like kind of maneuver their way in to make decisions. And we learned that a lot with like the low fat, reduce fat, everything. And everybody's like, no, if you just don't eat fat, you won't get fat. And it's like, yeah, that sounds great in theory, but it's not the truth. Like we know that carbohydrates, can turn into sugar in your body and then it gets stored as fat too. So it's not just fat that's the problem. It's kind of like a whole balanced system and a balanced diet in general.
There's been a learning curve for everybody, and as far as the whole food pyramid thing, you find it in every genre or in every market that the money runs the system, right? And so what company is funding that study, that research, that publication, who benefits from putting out this information? You just have to be self-educated. Would it really hurt you to have 6 to 11 servings of carbs, grains, rices, whatever else it may be? No, actually, it wouldn't hurt you. No. So it's not so much that certain things were so bogus, but it's just the way we go about certain things. People aren't having 6 to 11 servings of grains and oatmeal and rice and pastas and healthy things. They're having 6 to 11 servings of Pop-Tarts and animal crackers and Reese cups and
soda,
certain things of that nature. So you just got to watch it. And then as far as the fat turning into
coffees,
as far as the avoiding fat, carbs turning, it's all. Everything in science has had to go through learning curves. They've probably honestly at one point thought that, hey, this is good advice.
Yeah.
But at some point they learned like, okay, we were a little bit off with this, or just admit you're wrong, move on. Let's talk about what really can help you. And
I don't know if you know how capitalism works.
No, just I'm high hopes, man. I'm not. I try to be a realist sometimes, but sometimes I'm an optimist.
Corporatism.
Oh, my bad.
Corporatism. No, I found out that coffee, the same thing I'm drinking right now, has contributed to climate change. And it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Now, I wonder how many people wasted half their day commenting on this page, reading through comments.
I love coffee.
Mad.
See, and I know the top
arguing
comment
about what climate change.
The top comment had to be like, yeah, Starbucks, you're so woke, but you're the problem. Something like that.
Sure.
I'm sure. It all pops up. Did you? They come out with like a new horror like suspense film. Did you see that they have a new one called They Them? I'm waiting for the weekly plug to drop it because it's pretty insane. They have a whole a movie called They Them, and it's like about a gender enforcement camp of some sort. Like kids are being forced to a camp to like, you got to be the gender you're born, and it's like,
actually,
and it's called They Them.
I think my son actually told me about
That's
this.
awesome.
It's pretty bad.
Oh my god,
it was pretty bad.
Yeah. I was like, I'm surprised Jordan hasn't talked about this yet, because I was like, it's a pretty insane. The whole concept of it's wild.
We might have the bootleg guy watch it and give us a review, see how that goes.
I think it was just poorly done. They tried to make it something it didn't need to be.
Didn't they have like a pretty big star in it?
Kevin Bacon was
Kevin Bacon.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Bacon, man, he does a lot of stuff.
Kevin Bacon.
Isn't that Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special?
Really good, really funny. I actually really liked what he did in it. It was really goofy, but I enjoyed it. I watched it with the little one, and we were like enjoying all the craziness. And then my girl kept walking in like, "What the hell are you watching?"
Right.
It's like Kevin Bacon. She's like, "Is he playing Kevin Bacon?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's Kevin Bacon."
He's Kevin Bacon.
It's like, "Yeah, but is he playing Kevin?" I was like, "Yeah, who's on first?"
There you go.
That whole
Absolutely.
I'm like, I'll take it. It's something.
I wonder how many times Kevin Bacon has played Kevin Bacon.
A lot, probably. Actually.
Yeah.
I saw this as well. I thought this was pretty insane. They said fish skin can be grafted onto burn victims. The material uses the body's own cells and converts eventually into living tissue. I think that's pretty crazy.
I swear to God, I saw this in like a TV show or some shit like that.
Where are the fact checkers on this? Is
Yeah,
this real?
Is this real? I don't know. If it's on Twitter, it's real.
I know it.
1.3 million people.
Okay. What?
They have an article.
If it works, it works.
It's like a really poor Photoshop job.
It really does.
Yeah.
Let's see. Something went wrong. Not a very good. Didn't look good.
See, I told you it was a trap.
It was a trap. They got me. They got me again. No, I thought it was interesting. I mean, we've had so many different things. I mean, obviously,
I was just worried because like part of it was cut off the legs.
like right there.
Yeah, there's like no leg. You know.
Well, it looks like it's on Burns.
I don't know.
No?
I think he's right about the Photoshop.
Well, this isn't Photoshop, so I don't care what you say.
There you go.
Doja Cat's out here.
No, that is a clitoris.
Wow.
My girl, that's what all I could think of in my head was when my girl says it's on tonight, and then right before she gets off work, boom.
Oh God.
Her monthly lady pops up. Hey, I guess it's not on tonight. Man, it's such a week. It's such a bizarre fashion week.
Shout out to Doja Cat though, and all her different looks.
Well, we got this one too. We got a beautiful Sam Smith decided to come out with a new music video this week where
Oh, my word.
I
He's
know
out here.
you're against this, but
they're
like,
out here.
I dig it.
You would.
Yeah. Do you, Sam? Do you?
I'm cool. Put it behind, like, make it so that kids under the age of like 13 can't see it. It's like so.
That sounds like
grotesque.
YouTube's problem.
Yeah, it's definitely a YouTube problem. Oh man, it's just funny. And then they did that. This came out last week, and I kept meaning to bring it up last week, and I completely forgot. But Alec Baldwin actually got arrested. He got charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
So
Insane.
What was it?
When he shot the woman on the set of Rust is the name of it. Somebody put this out there, and like it's funny how people think of actors as powerful. Alec Baldwin is crying on Instagram about the person he negligently shot. Dick Cheney made the guy he shot go on national TV and say it wasn't his fault. Says it was his own fault. I'm like, yep, we know the politicians are way more powerful than actors can be.
Absolutely, man.
I'm still kind of in shock that they charged him because, like, obviously, like, if you kill somebody,
Gotta be the prop guy's fault, right?
yeah, but like, how's it his fault? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that he would have thought in his head this is a real gun, right?
Well, I mean, is he like is he executive director or like
It's a fair question. That could be
like
more
because
involved
if
in
he
it.
has a bigger title than
Yeah.
that, then
Yeah.
like he has bigger responsibility
Fair
under
enough.
the circumstances. So I don't know, but I protect Alec Baldwin.
I
maybe.
guess. I don't know.
I don't know. R.I.P. the lady that died.
Yeah, I mean that's the worst thing is that somebody did die and there was some negligence there, and it's like I know that when it all came out, they interviewed the weapon handler, like the person who's actually in charge of like the armory for the set.
Right.
Yeah.
And she got the job through nepotism and wasn't very well trained, and so I'm like, how does he end up? He pulled the trigger obviously on what he thought was like a prop gun and killed somebody.
Well, I mean, if I'm an actor and you give me a gun and you tell me it's a prop and it's safe to like shoot at somebody, like okay, I'm an actor and I'm gonna do it.
There's a clip of Will Smith at some point. I've seen that he's interacting with somebody on set of a movie, and maybe it was doesn't matter the movie, I guess, at the end of the day, but he immediately
say Wild Wild West.
No, I think it was the end of the world one. What was it called? Somebody help me.
Yeah, I Am Legend.
There you go. I Am
Yeah,
Legend.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think it was that, but either way, the guy that he was working with was picking up a gun, started to point it up, and he immediately blocked it back down. So
people that know trigger discipline and understand.
Alec Baldwin's old enough that I don't know.
He also seems the type that.
But what do you
if
do? Take
somebody
the
else
bullets
did
out,
it-
check the bullets.
I mean, yeah,
they're
you
supposed
got to
be
make sure.
blanks.
that-
Do they even use blanks anymore? Like what's
Yeah.
Well,
what should they actually be doing in Hollywood?
They were supposed to be blanks,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. Like the scene called for him
Yeah.
to shoot the lady
Yeah.
or whatever, but like
He shot the director, didn't he?
I don't know.
I think he didn't even shoot the person who was.
Oh, okay.
That's where I think there might be more negligence and why they're like, you shouldn't even have pointed at that person.
Oh,
But
well,
I think he killed the director or the
Oh,
director's assistant director or something like that. Somebody who wasn't even on screen.
see, what do I know? Fuck
Yeah.
Alec
What do we know? We know nothing. If you check the internet, we know nothing.
The internet's not even real.
I mean, people in our
Like-
town are angry about Narcan in the public library just so people if
They don't even go to the library. Half these motherfuckers can't read.
That's a good point.
And then I found this I'm like, it could be worse. This could be a Colorado library. I'm like, at least we have a way to help people. In Colorado, there's two different libraries libraries closed in 2 months due to unhealthy meth levels. So they've got so much meth in their libraries in Colorado that, and like, we're trying to help people that are going through problems, and they're going through the problems in the library.
But how does that come a thing though?
I don't know. It's a beautiful library. I like the way it looks.
Yeah.
So our downtown library, or at least, our downtown library, like, it does have a lot of homeless people that live around that area or stay around that area. I mean, those two could correlate. Not that homeless people are on drugs or anything like that.
No, most of the time they are. Not to say everybody, but a decent proportion of people who are homeless are usually either mentally or have mental illness or they're on drugs or a combination of both. Yeah. You know what I mean? At least for prolonged people that prolong.
So I could see that because libraries are public institutions that are generally just open. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's ease of access sort of thing.
Fair enough.
People have a different view of what a library is than what... I mean, we like to think of, like, the classic library. Like, you go in, there's a little old lady, she's pushing a cart, she's putting the books up, and she's like, hey, you want to check something out? And you use the library card. I'm like, nowadays, if you walk into a library, it's a lot more of, like, entertainment media. Like,
you can walk in and do whatever you want. Nobody will ever pay attention to you.
Nobody cares. And there's books in there for sure. Yeah. But a lot of people are in there printing off resumes, filling out job applications. There's literally a resource center in there where you can, like, and don't get me wrong here, I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure you can, like, check out media equipment like a camera to, like, record digitally. Yep. And they have, like, a place where you can like edit film, like edit videos. Like, if you wanted, I shot this thing, I want to bring it there and edit it, you can edit it in there. They have an entire editing room.
People are missing out.
And they don't, but that's what people, it's a resource center way more than, we call it a library because it's a public, but it's more of like a resource center. People go there to get resources. And I think Narcan's just one more resource. It's like, who cares? It's a valid point. You don't have to look at it. You can walk right past it and pretend like it's not there. Like you did the homeless people when you walked in. Yeah. I mean, it's that quick. People will choose the things they want to be mad about. And we ran into the same issue when they were trying to build that rehabilitation center in town, and we kept getting annoyed because anytime they'd find a place where we can build it here, we're going to do it, and they put it up for public vote, and people are like, not in my neighborhood, not in mine. I'm like, it's going to be in somebody's neighborhood. Yeah.
First of all, somebody's out in the country. Y'all aren't even close to.
Well, they were like, it's really, I think at the time they were bringing up that it was close to Howard School, and I'm like, okay, it's going to, we have schools everywhere. Like, if you bring it out there, bring it in town, it's going to be near a school. No matter where you go, it's like you can always find a reason to not help people. To not do something.
Absolutely.
It drove me crazy the
just
whole time.
As you can find a reason not to help yourself in the same sense too. So, like, as we talk about those things, remember, if you got goals, keep with them, keep pushing.
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, we've got, especially with a lot of what's going on lately. Like we talked a little bit about I Am Legend, which was a zombie film. We can parlay that into, if you watched any of this, The
Last of Us. Oh yeah.
Have you been interested in that at all?
I've checked it out.
Are you enjoying it?
It's all right so far.
Yeah.
It was a little slow starting. Well, no, actually, it was fast starting. The second episode, I was kind of tuning in and out, but it's got some legs.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And they did this. I saw this side by side. I thought it was so interesting how they did this. Like,
the beginning was too fast.
Oh yeah, because you're like, everything's happening that's actually happening.
Oh yeah.
And you're learning it all. I really like the opening scene.
Try not to have any spoilers,
Yeah, the opening
a little
scene
too fast.
of the second episode. I really liked how, because in the video games they didn't do any like, how did we get here?
Yeah,
right. And in the beginning of they've been sowing Easter eggs like in the first episode, and then the second episode they went to Jakarta. And I'm not trying to ruin anything, but if you watch the show,
I'm not into the games or anything, but I don't want to say I'm a film buff, but I do appreciate different layers and different ways to present and all the different angles and all the different things you can do with film.
I just thought it was cool. This is the game versus the TV show, and I think they did a pretty good job of giving like. I mean, obviously it looks different, but it also looks the same.
Most people typing and criticizing things have no idea what they're talking about anyway. So
and then
it's like,
here's your capitalism fix for the day. Why, yes, Pedro Pascal is wearing our flannel-lined wax darker jacket to survive the zombie apocalypse.
There you go.
Huckberry. Brought to you by Huckberry.
Yeah, if you're not going to plug for yourself, what are you doing?
You got to. I saw that. I was like, this. I thought it was so funny. And I'm like, that's.
I get 1,000 orders from preppers the next day. Here we go.
Yeah, I think this next episode is going to be really good because one of the main characters is being played by Nick Offerman from Parks and Recreation. He played, you know what I'm talking about, the Ron Swanson. You know Ron Swanson?
Okay.
So he's playing a character from the episode, or from the TV show, or from the video game. He's playing the character. I think his name is Bill. And that's his character. And this isn't really anything. He's a doomsday prepper. So, like, you get to see all that.
Awesome.
So it's kind of cool. We're kind of moving into that,
Like
that aspect of the show. And then, like, not to spoil anything, but it's there's a lot of clues when you play in the game. I didn't play the game, but I looked this up, and there's one of my best friends, Matty Kroll, loves that game. He loves it together, both of them, and he's obsessed with it. Love you, Matty. But like, apparently, like, there's a whole bunch of Easter egg like notes you find when you're playing the game that kind of explain his relationship with a certain person, and in the show you actually get to see it. So everybody's kind of
that's
excited.
What it's about. That's who it's for. Is for
That's
the people who
yeah.
are into it. I think you get a lot of comments and a lot of people on social that are just like, "Oh, another zombie thing! Oh, here we go."
I think that I've mostly seen positive reviews for Last of Us,
good.
which is kind of weird. But like, yeah,
I guess I'm generally speaking.
I like it. I didn't play the game. I can honestly say that. But
Neither have I.
But the fact that you can, if you wanted to, at the end of watching the show, you could go and play the game and be like, you can see the differences both ways.
Yeah.
If you played the game, or if you never want to play the game, it's still a good TV show.
Yeah.
And Pedro Pascal literally does nothing bad. Like, that dude, he's the Mandalorian. He was in Game of Thrones. Apparently, I don't really know. I haven't got that far. Probably won't. And make him mad.
it's whatever, man. Don't watch Game of Thrones.
Hey, if you can't force Kim to watch it, you can't force me to watch it.
I didn't have to. Like, she was like, "Oh yeah, I'd watch it," because we watched House of Dragons, and she was like, "Oh, that's not that bad."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, okay, I could watch Game of Thrones."
I get it. I was telling Shelby, I was
You're
like,
just
I
saying
get
it's
it.
bad, and you haven't watched it.
I don't like it. It's not my style of show. Like, I don't really do high fantasy, and I know people are like, "That's not high fantasy." I'm like, dragons, giants, like witches, like it's weird. It's very weird. But the first episode, to me, it's like
how are superheroes not high fantasy?
because it's a different genre. It's a genre. High fantasy is a genre. It's not a. It's not like, I can understand what you're saying. High fantasy. High fantasy is like another planet,
No,
another
I'm
world.
good.
All right,
he
cool,
gets
cool.
it right.
No, I love movies that are in that realm. I don't think I could potentially. I got too far behind to begin with before it was.
I get that.
So I got too far behind, but I just don't think I could do the whole series of it. I do enjoy one.
Yeah.
It's a movie or whatever that can pull me in and take
Lord of
me
the
through a
Rings
good
is high
ride, but-
fantasy.
Right.
But Harry Potter wouldn't be high fantasy because it's set in our world. And then there's so it's like how much grounded it is. High fantasy would be like your world building. It's nothing like our planet. Everything's different. There's whole different species that don't exist. And you could say like Star Wars is kind of like that, but it's so much more grounded. It's not high fantasy because there's not like
They
dragons.
don't talk about
shit.
Earth.
Yeah, I know. It's so it's
okay.
It's a genre.
You know what? Don't like what you don't like.
Swords.
It's all
and-
good, bro.
I don't like weird. I tried to get into it. I think I've made it to episode 7. Okay, before.
Good job.
And what I realized really quickly was this is all bait. Every episode ends and then an absolutely insane thing happens.
Yeah.
And if you don't watch the next one, you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like the first episode, spoiler, you've had plenty of time. I'm not ruining anything. And turn this off for 2 seconds, turn it back on. But the first episode ends with a dude pushing a kid out a fucking window. Yeah. I'm like, of course people are going to keep watching.
But does the second episode start with the recap on that? Like,
Yeah, kind of.
They give you a resolution,
Well, eventually you get a resolution, but then
but not on episode 2.
in the end of episode 2, the kid's in a coma, and the end of the episode 2, guess what happens? He opens his eyes.
There you go.
That's the end of, and it's like they do these things to like it's bait. It's bait.
It's all a story.
I get it.
I
He loves it. It
Like-
reminds me of like As the World Turns, or like what's one of those
Look, I'm all about some soap operas.
There you go,
If y'all haven't figured that out,
wrestling is a soap opera.
absolutely.
I get it.
And last night was the best wrestling soap opera I've ever seen in my
No
life.
spoilers, man. I haven't gotten.
I got you. But shout out Royal Rumble.
Shout out Logan Paul.
Yeah, actually, he's
very surprising.
He's not bad, man.
He's a really
not bad.
Oh, so I had to make.
I don't think he can handle a full schedule though.
No, I don't think it's a 2.
There's no way. If not physically,
No.
You have to be seasoned for that.
On my in your house page, I had to make a post today.
I hope you come at me.
That was Logan Paul is really good at this wrestling thing, and that's just the post. And I'm sorry.
I was impressed,
really
man. I'm not gonna lie, but at the end of the day, I just don't think he can handle a full schedule.
No,
and he doesn't have to. That's
no,
the
he
beauty
doesn't
of
need to.
This new podcasting, social media whole realm is that
I think he fills a good void in wrestling.
if the fans are about it, that's all that matters, right? It's what's good for business.
Oh yeah.
Make sure I keep an eye on the time. I don't want to keep you here too late. I have to do another podcast after this, so if you guys check that out. I'm like excited. I'm excited.
Well, don't take this too far, okay?
Yeah, don't take it too far.
Yeah.
Don't take it too far. No, I think it's pretty great. Honestly, I was looking at this and I wanted to see what your guys' opinion on this really quick. This is a beat. Everyone's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do a beatboxing challenge," and to me, it's like, what is going on there? It sounds like an alien.
What did the rest of the competitors like?
Doesn't matter. That makes the show.
I guess, man.
I stole the show.
She stole something.
That's the
I think
confidence
that's
that y'all
called
need to have
appropriation,
with
but
your
I don't
fitness.
know. Oh, Bismarck, he needs to sue this bitch. I'm sorry.
R.I.P. Biz.
Biz, oh man, that's so weird that you brought up Biz because I literally was listening to Just a Friend this last week. I was like,
You know what's so funny about you bringing that up? Not only all that, but I watched Celebrity Weight Loss, that whole whatever he was on, not Celebrity Weight Loss, but whatever show that they were on back in the day. I've been watching weight loss shows and stuff since I was a kid. It's weird how ingrained something can become for you, but that's the confidence y'all need to have in the gym. Is that confidence that she had doing that beatbox competition?
Oh yeah, just go in there.
You guys are all capable. You're all that capable.
You're have the confidence to get in the gym, but then if you don't know how to do something, don't have the confidence to do it or ask somebody. There's a lot of people, and as much as people get super intimidated to go into a gym. Like I've been super intimidated to go to a gym.
No doubt.
I was in the military for 4.5 years and went to the gym all the time, and I can still get intimidated walking in there because you get people who just know so much.
Yeah.
But the good thing about that is a lot of those people, you know, if you ask them a question, they're like, "What?
We can't wait. We cannot wait for you to ask a question." And it's bad to interrupt your workout. You want things to be timely. You want to do your thing. You want to have a plan. But when a big guy or a scary guy or an intimidating gal gets asked a question, they will immediately drop everything that they're doing and handle business right there.
I've seen it happen so many times.
That's what it's about, man. It's just really about giving back and, again, to be able to address all the different things. You know, there's a lot of times where I have little small gaps in my posting, and again, a lot of times that stems from just where my mental health may be in the time or at the moment, and you know, sometimes we don't feel as capable to serve others when we're not our best self. So, you know, you got to take care of yourself if you're going to take care of the others around you. Because I promise you get outside and do some of the things you were referencing. I've seen this. Get out, take your dog on a walk, you know, wake up and eat a little quick breakfast. You're going to be able to take care of business a little more efficiently.
What we're saying is hang in there.
Hang in there.
Just hang in there, you know? Find a way to hang in there. You said you saw this.
I did see this. This was actually in Kokomo, right?
Yeah. It was on the north end, right behind. It used to be Gillies. I don't know the name of it. The little tire place there on the Morgan in Washington. Is it?
Yeah.
Very interesting. I drove by and I had my son take this photo as we were driving by. I was like, I'm going to slow down, take a photo, because I was like, this is insane. I was like, it just looks like he was like.
What do you do? You got to admit defeat once you get up there.
Yeah, I think at that point, in your head, you're like, oh shit.
And if you can imagine being able to actually get out. Did the car run away? Were you able to actually get out of the car and it still stay up there? Like, how did this play out? This is amazing.
I think the towing company had to take it down. They had a video showing it. Cause
they posted it.
That certain towing company likes to suck its own dick. But it's okay.
Oh wow.
I'm sorry.
We've had some beef with a towing company. I know, isn't that crazy?
Am I good out there?
Yeah, no, you're good.
You're good. The other guys might like us, I think. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
I'm just saying, you guys need to make sure you're working out. And this guy works out, and he's also, did you guys see this? Porn star Brandon Cummins from the famous Let's Go Brandon series of male-on-male porn has been arrested after beating up 35 neo-Nazis.
Jeez Louise.
I mean,
I never really knew what the
Good
Let's
for
Go
him,
Brandon
though.
thing was. I just ignored it.
Yeah.
It was one of those times where I was like, I just don't have time for this.
The Let's Go Brandon thing?
Yeah, I just ignored the whole thing completely.
We joked about it on here because the song. We had the song that came out. That guy dropped a rap.
yeah. Good for him though for beating up some Nazis. Though,
Yeah,
right?
35 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he not only takes one for the team, like he gives it. Goddamn.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, bro.
The multi-talented Brandon.
Go Brandon.
Jeez
What?
Louise.
Yo,
His name is Brandon.
Does he have a GoFundMe?
He needs to go. Yeah, we need to find it.
Yeah.
His name is Brandon Cummins, and there's a part of me that feels like that's not his real name.
35 is a lot of guys.
You really think that's a stage name?
I think it might be a it doesn't. It could be both. It could be either way.
I don't know, man.
Maybe he was born for this. I was born for this. Gosh. And then I saw this pastor a priest who temporarily died. He revealed he went to hell and demons were singing Rihanna's song Umbrella.
I thought that was pretty funny. I scrolled past that one too.
I was dying laughing. I'm just imagining demons. When the sun shines, it shines forever.
I can see
What's
actually.
Daily Loud got? What kind of beef they have with Rihanna?
They must not like her. Daily Loud's the best, man. They drop some of the funny. They always have funny stuff, man.
That's hilarious.
It's like between them and I think it's like New York Post. They have the funniest headlines, so I'm always stealing stuff from their headlines because it's like this shit pops up. I think like half of the things that I laugh at in the day are from those two different places because they curate. Just like you, they curate funny stories, and I'm like, that's. I was talking to my son. He got home from school the other day, and of course I've told him a million times turn off your Xbox when you go to school, but if he doesn't. He leaves it on so it doesn't have to like load back up. Jeez. And then he was like, "Somebody turned off my Xbox," and I was like, "Actually, son, I just pulled this article today." And he was like, "What is it?" I was like, "Xbox will force gamers to power down to fight climate change, touting the first carbon-aware console."
Gee, that's awesome.
So Xbox turned his Xbox off. I'm like, you're gonna have to email Bill Gates if you got a problem with this.
What's the point of leaving it running? They seem so fast now. I don't play them too much, but they seem so fast nowadays.
I don't get it either. I don't know why he wants it to run 24/7. I mean,
I'm not the thermostat dad. I'm the turn off the TV dad. Like I can see that the black screen is on. Turn off the TV.
The only reason I can get this is if your games have updates and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like. Mm-hmm. Because it's annoying as fuck if you don't play a lot, and then you get on and you're like, fuck, I gotta wait 20 minutes for this update.
Yeah, I've seen
an hour for this
and
update.
They're big now.
Yeah.
Well, most people don't power down their I won't power down my computer.
Yeah. Right, the same.
So maybe like in my head, I need to think of it like that. Like I don't power down my computer, so
it's kind of the same.
And it is a computer. It's basically a computer. It just does a little more.
I know with my PlayStation, I just kind of keep it on sleep and like yeah.
There are ways to do it right. Honestly, did you guys hear about the Super Bowl? We're going to have an Indianapolis native by the name of Babyface, who will perform "America the Beautiful," and country music star Chris Stapleton will be singing the national anthem. I'm pretty excited about it. I think that's a pretty good mix there. I think both of them are like both of those singers are loved by regardless of genre. You ever listen to any Chris Stapleton?
No, I have zero idea, bro.
I bet you. Have you ever heard Tennessee Whiskey?
Oh yeah, with Justin Timberlake. Is that him?
No.
Well,
they did a song together too, but Tennessee Whiskey's the one that like he did, and then it's like done. Like R&B singers love that song because like it's got a lot of soul in it.
Yeah.
And smooth.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys that I don't really listen to country music. I don't know about you guys. I'm not a huge country music fan, but he's one of the few people I could literally listen to sing all day. He has a really great voice.
I dig.
Yeah, between him and then we have like Indianapolis native Babyface. He just won a Scrappy.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Did Baby?
Yeah, he had a compilation album that he put out, and he won a Scrappy.
Yeah.
That's what actually I was meant to send this to you guys for the weekly plug, and then I was like, actually we'll use it for this because I was excited that Babyface, Indianapolis native, is going to be singing "America the Beautiful."
Yeah, I love Babyface. That's what's up though.
Every time I close my He's the only guy that you know that could have Mariah Carey sing background and get uncredited. she's in that song. And it's like he's like, nah, you're just gonna be singing in the background. She's like, do I get any credit? No.
Nope.
Nobody's gonna know it's you.
They're gonna think it's me.
Babyface the shit. Yeah, do you remember is he one of the ones that was in the movie Soul Food? Yeah, he was in Soul Food, right? He was in the band, in Miles's band. You guys ever watch Soul Food?
I think
movie?
so, yeah.
Love that movie. Growing up is one of my favorites because like it had like all the music and it was so good. And it had the guys it had Casey and JoJo were in his band, and then it had Babyface. And it was just like I was like, damn, they got everybody just to make a cameo in this fucking movie. That movie is one of my favorites. And then they did the old do 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 the dance scene or whatever. That's one of the best movies. I wish they made a TV show out of it, and I couldn't get into the TV show. Did you ever try to watch that one? The Soul Food TV show?
No, I never really. I think I saw Soul Food one time ever, and never really rewatched it.
It's one of my favorite movies growing up. Yeah. Not even lying. I used to watch it constantly.
That little 4 years difference, man, makes a little bit of a difference.
Well, there was also like a really crazy sex scene in it.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, but it was like a cheating sex scene, so you weren't supposed to enjoy it, but you did.
Yeah.
You did. Miles ended up sleeping with the cousin Faith, I think her name is.
Soul Food, man.
Yeah, Soul Food, man. I love that movie. I'm sorry. I was trying to. And then obviously, speaking of Soul Food, Adult Swim has ended an association with Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty will continue. The talented and dedicated crew are hard at work on season 7. So all this stuff came out with Justin Roiland basically hitting on underage girls.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, like
13-year-old girls is what I heard. As young as 13. I don't know if all of them were 13, but
so I hope all those other shows that he's on kind of follow suit.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think he's going to get. We had that stuff with James Gunn, who's now running DC, head of DC with Peter Safran, and he was making jokes on Twitter and got completely blackballed for a minute, and then it all came back out. Everybody kind of let him back in, but this guy got caught red-handed messaging young girls. So
yeah, that's not cool. Not cool, bro.
Not cool. Not cool at all. There, James Roiland. Is his name James Roiland? I'm not very good at reading.
I think so.
James Roiland.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, right. And then Greta got arrested. Did you see that?
And then she trolled Andrew Tate, right?
This was her getting arrested.
You also want those pretty man?
I thought this was a very interesting video. Especially in light of recent events, this is how she got arrested. Let's take that picture first. Let's get that in. Make sure we get it all done.
I've never got arrested this way. Bro, I would.
This video threw me for a loop in my head because I'm like how they had that photo of her being carried, and everybody's like, she got arrested, and I'm like, it was a photo op.
Yeah.
It was a photo op. Meanwhile, what's going on right now in Memphis is absolutely insane. You guys obviously follow that, right?
Yeah, with Tyree and
have you seen the video? Did you end up watching it?
I watched enough of it.
Yeah.
It's all this shit's hard to watch, man. And if this doesn't wake up people to say, hey, man, there needs to be a change in maybe how we approach people or how we train others. And it's obviously not a race thing. It's a fucking mindset thing. You can't just be out there killing folks.
I still think it's a race thing. I mean, personally, I'm not trying to be the only one that says this, but or to put myself, but I still think it is a race thing.
It's not.
Yeah. I mean, people want to say, oh, well, they were all black officers, so it obviously wasn't race related. And I'm like, or they're taught that way in the system that they're in, where they have to deal with this situation. And it's I don't think all cops are bad. I don't. I think a lot of them are, but it does feel a lot like a gang a lot of the time.
Biggest gang in America, bro.
Yeah, man. It's scary when you see. I watched they have their police chief is a black woman. Yeah. She did a whole thing. I watched her talking about it, and basically, she said it's a very hard video to watch, and then I ended up watching the video. But I wanted to hear her perspective because I'm like, I got to hear both sides. I want to hear from the Leos. I'll hear from the people the family and stuff, and the people that got affected. And it's just listening to her. She's like, it's hard to watch for her. Yeah. She's like, I don't know. The primary goal of any situation with a police officer, and this is they're taught this, is de-escalation. The first thing you're supposed to do is calm everybody down.
None of that happened.
And they were on a 10. And even the police chief was like, they were on a 10 as soon as they got there. There was no reason to be on a 10. Guy was literally just driving home. They couldn't cite. They said he was driving erratically, but nobody had video of him doing it, and there's no proof of it.
Yeah, I thought really the video, weird. At least the video that I saw, was weird because it was showing a house, and then it just kind of pans over randomly, and everything's just there.
Yeah.
And the
young guy, right? 29.
Yeah. It's all hard. I don't know how much you saw about that.
I actually haven't seen it. When was this?
It's a rough video. It just happened a couple weeks ago.
But
they released the video Friday.
Oh, okay.
They released the cam footage and the street footage they had, and you just see like he's punting his face like a football.
Jeez Louise.
And it's 5 black police officers and a black victim, and you know you're gonna hear people who are gonna say obviously the things they always say. Well, it's not about race. It's not, and I'm like, yeah, it is, but it isn't, because like and they were part of like a street team called the Scorpions. Like they had a whole like it's very bizarre. There's a lot going on. Like it's like a street.
That gives me very like
people
Baltimore
walk around
vibes.
angry, man. It's a weird thing, and you know I don't know.
Yeah,
but that's just it's got to be that too. I mean, you say you think it's got some race in it. You say it's not.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it?
Yeah. What is it? It's
well,
something.
I mean,
people are just inherently angry sometimes.
No.
Based on the situation.
I'd say it's not because like I mean policing in general has been very biased, like for a very, very long fucking time.
Laws have been biased, and they're there to enforce laws. If
well,
laws
I mean,
are biased,
laws were created just to kind of, you know, still keep people down. You look at things like the 13th Amendment and shit like that, and it wasn't really there to help people in certain ways. It's really there to like keep people down and punish people and shit like that. But like, it's like you can't have 5 black officers and be like, oh well, they killed a black guy, they're racist. It's not that they're racist, but the system is racist, and it taught them to fucking target these people and shit like that. And like, I don't know, bro.
That's the best way to describe it.
Hard.
It's the best way to describe it. Exactly what you said. Because like, I'm not necessarily saying the cops are racist, because they're probably not racist, but the system that they exist in targets. They're a street team. They were a group of officers that called Scorpions. They worked on the street team. They're in charge of basically keeping law and order in a specific area that has high crime. So when they go into these situations, they're already on a level they're not supposed to be at, because they're being told, well, you're here special because we need you to do these special things. Yeah. And instead of de-escalating the situation, this guy is in his car. They like force him out. They're already cussing at him, screaming at him, like screaming at the guy. The guy doesn't even know why he was pulled over. He's like, why did I get pulled over? And they didn't even explain it. They didn't even tell the guy why. And then they beat the shit out of him. 5 of them beat the shit out of the guy. And then he slumped over. Like, they said the thing that broke my heart is at one point they said that he was literally crying for his mom, which is very similar. It harkens to George Floyd crying for his mom as well. And it's like, at what point do people notice? Like, what point do you notice? And I guess even like they had more cops showing up, and nobody paid attention. Like, they just didn't even pay attention to him. Like, they didn't get him help. They beat the shit out of him, then they just let him sit there and prop him up against a car and walk away. And it's like he ended up dying multiple. Like, I think he was really, really hurt, and then he died like a day later. Like, I'm like, how obviously whether race is what you're saying, like, oh, it doesn't matter, they're black officers and he's a black victim. I'm like, yeah, true, but it doesn't mean that race didn't play any role in it at all, or that the system isn't geared towards, okay, this guy's a problem if immediately when you see him. And they've been taught that over time, because it's like that, what is it, implicit bias or whatever.
You watch just a small portion of that video, and you can tell that kid was ready to surrender, to stop doing anything that they needed him to stop doing. They just kept on fucking hitting him.
He was scared,
confused,
bro, and didn't understand why he was even. They went so quick to like pulling him out of the car and then like throwing him on the ground, get on your stomach, get on your back. It's like he didn't even have time to process what was happening. And there's 5 officers yelling at him at once. I'm like, how do you guys not like come to the thought process in your head, like, maybe he's confused. Like, people react different ways when they don't know how to react.
Right.
He might have never ever had this type of interaction with law enforcement. Now all of a sudden they're ganged up on him and surrounded him and like yelling at him, screaming at him, multiple commands from different directions. Like, yeah, it's just confusing, man. The whole situation was bizarre. And
so what's the status of those officers?
They all got charged with what, 2nd degree murder? Is that what it was? I think they got charged with 2nd degree murder. I don't have it on here. I just started following it, like a couple days ago, and I'm like, this whole thing has been bizarre. Yeah. And they were like, oh, we're bracing for protests and stuff, and I'm like, of course you are. Yeah. Of course you are. What do you think? Yeah. Like, he's literally had no weapon, did nothing wrong as far as anybody can tell, and basically got gang. It's like Rodney King. That's what they're comparing it to.
There just has to be some level of accountability. It's amazing.
Absolutely. on the other spectrum of this, I kind of worry for those officers too, because even though they're pieces of shit, but like these are the officers that are gonna get the book thrown at them.
Absolutely, that popped in my head
like,
as well.
That's not a great thing either. You know what I mean?
That popped in my head as well. I feel the exact same way. I was like, oh, now they're gonna make an example because it's 5 black officers. But
yeah. So,
but the guy up in Minnesota also, was it Minnesota? George Floyd was in Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
He the guy up there ended up getting the book thrown at him too, so that's good.
Yeah.
It takes a while, man. I feel like culture has to like push it forward, and part of it is we talk about like defund the police and give more and a lot of that really just means give more funding to mental health and de-escalation and training and explaining to these people. Yeah. And they have a whole system there where like they've done the work since George Floyd, apparently, according to. I think that's what scared me the most. According to the police commissioner there, she said that they've done the work. They're only allowed to work 6 to 8 weeks before they have to be mandatory get time off in order to recuperate. And I'm like, well, clearly the shit's not fucking working. There's got to be something else.
Maybe they did some work on paper, but like it's all about results, bro. Just maybe less people dying would be great. Absolutely great.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Less people dying all the time.
Yeah.
Especially for such stupid shit. Like, that's really what bothered me about it is, like, there was not really a real reason. And speaking of less people dying, this lady, I want to bring up this lady. She has serial killer in the background. She killed her man. Mother, 27, who had photos of serial killers, including Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer on her bedroom wall, stabbed Oliver to death as he slept, then giggled as she showed her friend his body on video call and said, "I'm done with him." So what I think we should do is retraining for any woman that says that Jeffrey Dahmer is her fave on the internet.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
the signs were there. Literally, the writing's on the wall.
They're literally on the wall. Punning it up today, man. JT with the puns.
If you heroize a serial killer, that's pretty wrong.
It's
bro.
weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
I posted a similar photo and posted a similar sentiment on my page and got yelled at. I don't know if you saw that.
I don't want to talk about that.
I got yelled at for it because I was just like, why would you call a serial killer your fave? Like, or gatekeep serial killers? Like, now all of a sudden you like Jeffrey Dahmer once they put a TV show. I've always loved Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm like, you have? Why?
Yeah.
Why do you love him? Explain your love and adoration.
I saw the Jeremy Renner adaptation when I was like 12, and it was it's amazing.
Great.
It's amazing that they're still doing it.
That's about as good as saying I love Hitler.
Yeah,
I just wonder who's profiting. My biggest thing is who's profiting from these things.
Yeah,
It's people are going to be able to learn about it. They've written their names in history, whatever. They're psychotic, but it's like who is profiting from
hopefully it's
these
the
productions?
Families.
You'd hope,
but it's probably not.
Apparently not so. I don't know. There was that huge outcry when Evan Peters won. What was it? The Golden Globe recently. He won a Golden Globe for his portrayal of Jeffrey Dahmer in the series, and didn't even say anything. Didn't even make any remarks about the victims who were upset that they even made the film. Didn't say my heart goes to the victim. Nothing. Just kept them completely out of the acceptance speech, and it pissed off a lot of people.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I kind of got a problem with like people telling someone how they should be thankful, I guess, but like I don't know. Yeah. But at the same time, I get that too.
I don't know. Acknowledging the victims isn't that
nothing
hard.
wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But like, I don't know.
I get it.
Has he not said anything about it at all? Like ever?
I mean, he was public there. He could have. He won an award for his portrayal. I feel like at that point would have been a great time to be like, hey, and for the people who have, or the families who have suffered, it would have been simple. It would have taken 2 seconds and he would have appeased them.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have hurt.
I mean, I get that. But also, like, you're up there accepting an award. Like, you're not really doing anything for the victims. You're just like, hey, I'm gonna get this off your backs, which is not okay, but like it's part of acting in a sense.
But they could just as easily write another creepy role for him to play, right?
Absolutely.
So I think it's just it's a real thin line to walk with something like that.
Yeah. And then I was excited about the Michelle Yeoh has made history as the first person who identifies as Asian to be nominated for Best Actress at the Oscars. I didn't know she identified it as Asian. It's such a weird way to write it, but I was dying at the way they wrote it.
I mean, it's sweet.
That's not what I meant earlier when I was talking about identity. That's not what I meant. But,
I just think it's funny. They're like the first person who identifies as Asian. I don't know. What if she comes out and says I don't identify as Asian? And they,
then you kind of. Did they verify that?
So what is on her head?
a googly eye.
Yeah, it's a googly eye.
It's a googly eye. It's just a quick Google. Here's a googly eye for you guys. Speaking of googly eyes, did you guys hear about this? We got a new movie coming out. We got a movie, Fettuccine Alfredo, coming out soon. That's actually a Kokomo Press production. We were a part of it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's coming
the premiere.
Yeah, with premieres coming up, more information, go to the Fettuccine Alfredo page on Facebook, and you'll get all the information there. I definitely have to plug that. I got to plug what let me see. Do we have this? This is all your info right here.
Yeah, that's some of the
Check
programs
this out.
that we offer.
I meant to pick this up earlier, and then we got talking about stuff. But check this out. This is Just For You Fit. This is JT's program offerings. Check it out. He's got you got different tiers even. I like that.
Yeah, again, you got people that are pretty self-sufficient. You got people that we just need to get it done now. You know, it's urgent. We've got some work to do, and I mean, you're going to pay for it at some point.
Right.
But, you know, when you're talking about investing in your health, there's really not too steep a price to pay. We got a lot of people doing silver and bronze programs. But again, it's you can look up a workout online. You can Google it, you can follow it, but to have that interpersonal relationship is one of the reasons that I did step away from the in-gym space, was just to be able to commit fully to these people who are ready now and want to make the change. And it makes it simple. A lot of people are more open and willing to communicate, whereas in the gym space it's like, kick my ass, cool, we did it. Yeah. And then you have no accountability going forward. And if you do, you're going to pay for it separately anyway.
Right.
So now you're paying out of pocket for the training and then for the secondary accountability. So it's really just an affordable way to present people information on the training, a program that they can go buy on the app. They have it in their hand. They work out at the gym, plug in their stuff, gives them training on their nutrition, learning about carbs, protein, some of the stuff you mentioned earlier. We do some myth busting, but just keeping them moving, presenting them different perspectives and angles to attack this from. You might not be able to make it to the gym every month. It's just the way that it goes. And there's some months that you're going to eat out a lot. But you know, it's just, how do I handle this? How do I handle this month? How do we handle this week? How do we handle this day? You know what I mean? So what level of help do you need? What level of accountability are you willing to hold yourself to? And where can we bridge the gap?
Yeah, I like it. I like it because you have different. I think, you know, pretending like everybody's one size fit all has been a problem with fitness.
There's
forever.
the just for you portion of it, right? I mean, you literally have to figure out how it can be something that you do and you commit to in the way you fit it in. And if that means putting some equipment in your garage, it might mean that.
Absolutely.
If that means getting a $300 cheapo bike from Walmart, that way you can keep your legs moving in the winter, do it. I mean, watch your soap operas while you're pedaling away. You know what I mean?
I dig it.
At the end of the day, it's just, you don't know what it feels like until you feel it.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things. And so
so check it out. If you're still doing your fitness journey and you have like an entire, you're like, I'm getting through, my resolution's getting harder, I'm getting stagnant, I've hit a wall, there are things that are available. So hit up Just For You Fit. I mean, I think it's great that we have people in the neighborhood, in the area, in our town, though, that we can go to, because like I said, a lot of people, they don't know where to turn, they don't know who to turn to, and they want to know that the person they're turning to, you know, knows what they're talking about. And I think after talking to you today and hearing from you and seeing a lot of what you have to offer, I think you'd be a great person to go to if anybody's going out there, because like, you seem like you're not trying to like mold anybody into something. You're willing to meet them where they are and help them out, and I think that's important. And it seems like you're not going to pretend like, I know exactly, we got to do this. But over time, slowly get them going.
I catch a lot of realistic expectations of oneself.
For sure.
So,
I'm thankful for my journey and the things and lessons I've learned and the places I've been. And I think that's really what it's all about, is understanding that everybody's got their own journey. And it's easy to get on the bike and fall off a few times. And I think that's what people get afraid of. They fall off and they're like, I'm just done with this. Like,
Or I missed this thing, or they give themselves too high of expectations. Like, I got to go first week. I got to go to the gym 5 days a week. I got to do cardio. And then they get through a day, maybe two of it. They fall off and they're like, well, I'll just start again next week or next month. And it's like you can start at any time. Wednesday's a great day to go to the gym.
Well, next month comes and the first of the month is on a Thursday, and you're like,
I'll just wait till the first of the month.
I'll just wait till Monday, and then now it's the 4th already, and you're like, fuck, I'm done. I'm just done. Next month.
That's how that works.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I appreciate you coming on today and hanging out with us. I think it's a great time to learn how to get yourself into the proper place. And you don't have to have like a 6-pack of muscles to be healthy. Like you can learn how to just get into a weight that's healthy for your body, or in just general, just to take steps to maybe like the longevity thing that we're talking about. Like we're all going to get old one day. It's going to be hard to move regardless of how big you are or how unfit you are. And it's probably a good time now, to get it together.
Well, like I said, you just
not gonna lie.
really have to ask yourself how you feel. I mean,
Yeah.
are you being honest with yourself?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because again, just because the picture looks good that doesn't mean that person always feels great either.
And I'm telling you right now, the picture does look good.
Yeah.
A
lot of guys on that day don't feel great. I'll tell you that.
I bet the cutting. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's rough. But anyway, I want to thank you for coming on. This has been the Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm
Thanks for having
JG.
me.
I'm JP. Yeah.
And I'm JT.
Hey,
we'll do it.
Kokomo Press Podcast. We love you guys. Thank you for watching this episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast. We really appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can check us out on the Kokomo Press at Facebook, at YouTube, at Instagram, or you can follow us all on our individual accounts if you want on Twitter or Facebook or wherever. You can get our merch, or if you really, really, really want to help us out, it's only $5. You can actually subscribe to our Patreon. Check that out because we have a lot of content we want to give you guys, and we want to put more and more out, and it's starting to get expensive. So hit us up. Thank you for watching this episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast. Thank you so much. We love you. 2 kisses.